Press the bell icon on the YouTube app to never miss a video from News Laundry.
Hello and welcome to News Laundry Interviews. Today we are speaking with Dr. Sanjaya Boru, veteran journalist and editor, a prolific columnist, author, and former media advisor to Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. He is also the former Secretary General of the Federation of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He wrote The Accidental Prime Minister, a best-selling account of his time in Manmohan Singh's PMO. The book was later made into a Bollywood film, but not without controversy. We'll talk about that today, the current crisis caused by the coronavirus and India's response to it, and a lot more. Dr. Baru, welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Baru, we are living through what has been described and what we can clearly see is once in a lifetime crisis, the coronavirus pandemic. As an economist, a political analyst, and someone who has been part of the government at a very high level, what do you make of India's response to the crisis so far?
Well, I think there are several levels at which one can analyze the response. There is the macro level, there is the kind of micro level, and then there's the intermediate level. At the macro level, which is really at the level of the Prime Minister, the Government of India, we have had relentless focus on the problem. The Prime Minister has not taken his eye off the issue. And we've had the longest and the most comprehensive lockdown for any country in the world. So from the big picture looks reasonable when compared to many other countries. For example, compare even to the United States, where this is badly handled and the number of deaths are much more. For a developing poor country like ours, the macro level things are good. At the micro level, that is by which I mean at the level of individuals, I think we've seen a lot of suffering, particularly of the poor, inability of the system as a whole. And I think there I would blame government at various levels, at the national level, at the state level, at the provincial, at the district level, the inability of the government to address these challenges.
So actually there have been a lot of reports lately in the recent weeks basically saying the government has not been listening even to experts which they brought in on its committees to tackle the pandemic. So that's a really scary situation if they're not listening even to those people.
Let me make it very clear that this is a problem intrinsic to our system. I've often said, there is this thing called the Murphy's Law, which is if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Right?
Will go wrong, yes.
And I've said that in India, Murphy's Law operates all the time. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And therefore, we have to work on the assumption that things in this country can easily go wrong. The problem, I think, with the Modi government has been an excessive sense of self-confidence that we can manage everything. That we are confident of managing. That confidence is not reflected in the capability.
For nearly 2 months now, migrants have been on the roads. They've been suffering. People have been dying of exhaustion, of hunger, for want of medical attention. And everybody is seeing this. It's visible. And though it's not like there are not resources to tackle that, right? I mean, they're asking for minimal things, just some means of transport to go home. India has one of the largest railway networks in the world. And they're asking some food so they don't go hungry. And India's granaries are overflowing right now. The food is rotting. It's just a matter of getting these resources to these people. Why has that been very hard to do?
This is the second issue that has that really requires proper explanation from the government. What was their approach to the migrant problem? What is the government's thinking about the migrant problem? I have not seen any clear statement from any competent person in the government as to what was their view, whether the central government or the state government. As I keep saying on television, the only person who I heard articulate a very clear view was the Chief Minister of Telangana, who went on television, who addressed a press conference and told all the migrant labor in Telangana, please do not go home. Sir, I'll take care of you. It was a very clear message. Whether he succeeded or not is a separate issue. But the fact is, at least the messaging was clear. We did not hear such clear messages from other chief ministers. And more importantly,
are you happy with the economic package announced by the government? There's been a lot of criticism of it. Many people have pointed out that it isn't actually rupees 20,000 crore as the PM said, or even 10% of the GDP, but much, much less. and also that there isn't much to relieve the suffering of the poor and the migrants in the immediate term. One, Dr. Baru, what do you make of such criticisms of the package? And two, is this package sufficient to address the fallout of the crisis, both in the short term and the long term?
You see, there are three dimensions to the policy package that the finance minister has announced. First, there is a fiscal dimension. Second, there is a welfare dimension. And third, there is a policy dimension. Now, as far as the third is concerned, which is policy, a lot of the changes announced, I think basically the government took the opportunity of this current lockdown and the sense of crisis engulfing the economy to do a lot of things, ideas which have been around for a long time. The credibility of policy is extremely important for macroeconomic policy. People have to believe that you mean what you say. And at the end of the day, the success of macroeconomic policy is built on confidence that tomorrow will be better than today. If that confidence returns to the economy, things will improve. I have no doubt things will improve. But right now, there's a lot of uncertainty because there's a sense that this government has not understood the seriousness of the problem. They have not been able to address the real issues that ordinary people are facing. And therefore, does it know what it's doing as far as the economic policy is concerned? It's a question. And I think it's responsibility of the government to address this in a credible manner. I do believe sincerely that the Prime Minister should be talking to the country on the nitty-gritty issues of policy, not simply going on television and saying Atmanirbhar Bharat. For the first time, issues of class have come to the fore. The way in which we are dealing with the problem as far as middle classes are concerned, urban middle class, the way in which the problems of farmers have been addressed, the problems of rich peasants as opposed to poor peasants, the way in which problems of workers have been addressed, of medium and small enterprises. You can see a very clear class dimension to the manner in which the lockdown has been implemented and problems of lockdown have been addressed.
What else will it take to make healthcare a priority, public healthcare a priority, public education a priority? And what needs to change for governments from the center to down to the panchayat level to take it very seriously and really invest in this?
Well, I think we are now in the middle of that change. I mean, the fact is that this pandemic and the lockdown have finally forced the issue onto the agenda. So if this does not take, as you say, you asked, what does it take, right? Well, this is what it takes. And if this does not produce results, nothing will, right? So hopefully the experience with the lockdown, the experience with the pandemic will actually now force political leadership at different levels.
To watch the full unedited interview, you're going to have to subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. If you subscribe, you breach the paywall and you get all our interviews completely unedited. So may I please request you to click on the top right-hand corner on the subscribe button on newslaundry.com, pay to keep news free, and watch this and all other unedited interviews.